Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I ain't mean to call you that. I'm ice cold like the keg the bartender tap. On another level like I'm fucking around with ASAP. So what's the word? What's the deal? Don't be asking how I'm doing unless you wanna keep it real. Cause I'm all up in my feels. Jesus, take the wheel. This liquor got me more set than Jagged Little Pills.
I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. This is Bedtime with Bleeves. Line them all up for the old backhand. Guys, $30,000 Bitcoin. I told you. I've been telling you this for 4 months now. Matty B, where's that bear market at, man? Where's that bear market, Matty? I don't see it anymore. It's all gone. Here we are, 30,000 Bitcoin. And guess what? According to the charts, it's about to keep going. So I think that we are, the party's on, guys. So if you were the ever faithful and you've been with me since the beginning, since the first time that I sounded like I'm out of my goddamn mind, when Matty B was out here calling me out of my mind for telling you guys that it started and that here's the run, here we go. If you remember it all, if you were here for it, I appreciate each and every one of you. Most of all, I appreciate Matty B because, look, it's been a long time coming. 500 and I want to say 509, 519 days. This bear market, this was the longest bear market ever. And thanks to Matty B, it's all over. So here we are, $30,000 Bitcoin. Celebration is on. Now, for those of you that I got out with a nice profit on my Ethereum trade because I had long that one for a long way, but I shorted Bitcoin, and I want you to know my ass I didn't get wrecked, but I ended up losing about $200 off of that one because, you know, that's the way it happens sometimes. But yeah, and I was playing both sides. Like I was already in a big trade for Ethereum to begin with, waiting for that nice little pump to happen. And it didn't, it wasn't going on. So then I thought, you know what, in this little short realm right here, maybe, just maybe I can enter a little short. Maybe Bitcoin will go down to 28.6 because in my mind, I thought, at 29,100, I thought, maybe it'll drop back down about 500 points to 28.6, which is where it looked like it was going to go. As a matter of fact, I'll show you so that you guys don't think, yeah, this guy's out of his goddamn mind. By the way, all positive going into tomorrow or dead even, close enough. Are we in Bitcoin season or altcoin season? Not even close. We're still way deep in Bitcoin season. But so this is what I was looking at a couple hours ago, and I was on the 15-minute candle. Now on the 15-minute candle, this goes back to about 5 o'clock right here. So I was at 28,700, 28,600. The 50-day SMA was just kind of ranging right in this little green circle here. And I thought, what a great time for it to come back down. It was right here, and it was coming down. It was coming down, and it kept pumping back up. And I was like, man, this does not look good, right? But you know what? It's only a couple $100. Let's see what happens, because if it comes down, then I'll make a few hundred more, and then I'll go long again. And because I still think it's going to be 30,000, right? Son of a bitch, it went to 30,000. And if you look over here on the MEXC perpetual futures, 30,104. On the Bitcoin US dollar index, 29,917. But if you go to Binance, I think it was 30,141. If you go to if you go to crypto.com, 30,141. Binance, I think it was 30,242. So breaking 30,000 every single place. Now, that's a mental roadblock, of course. That's not fixing anything. What's fixing things is let's get over it and let's get up to this 38,000 sort of level here. But what we did do is we got a whole lot closer to this 31.1. And if you remember, 31.1 is where we need to get in order to erase all of the downside that we got from Three Arrows Capital and Celsius collapsing. And then Voyager Digital was in that mix somewhere, along with Elon Musk selling off on Tesla. 1.189 trillion is the market cap right now, which is back to August. That was the high way back when. So we're starting to recover. This is the Earth is recovering. Now, if you look at this and you're seeing this, it's been really kind of a nice little pump, right? But we haven't seen a dump. So expect some downside to be coming at some point pretty soon. But enjoy this ride. If you've got some money in Bitcoin, if you've got some money in Ethereum, if you've got some money almost in any one of these big altcoins, then you've earned it. So my move, by the way, is right here. My move is going to be on SHIB very soon. I do want to see, hopefully, that we get down here to this 1060 level one more time. Like I'm hoping that we get no news for a few days, and we retrace back down here to the bottom of this. And then when we hit the bottom of this, I'm going hard into SHIB, and I'm going to hold that one long, because I do think that we're going to flip into altcoin season pretty soon. I do think that it's almost time to have that crazy run. So, but anyway, Bitcoin's up 80% on the year so far. 29,824 right now. Ethereum 1914. Ethereum is probably going to have some retracement, up 60%. Now, Ethereum should be going up. At this point, you would think that Ethereum were up over 100%, but it's still being dragged down. I don't really have an explanation for that, except most of the sentiment's been in Bitcoin. It's going to roll over to Ethereum as the nature of this stuff goes, and then it's going to kind of move on to the rest of the market. So, and if you look up here, you see 80% on Bitcoin, just crazy. But you're not seeing the massive moves in all of the rest of it. Solana is doing okay, but you're not really seeing that massive blow off starting to happen, where that cap, where the market cap starts to pick up to where Bitcoin is, or to where Ethereum is, and we're still experiencing that big. Look at this, by the way. Bitcoin dominance up to 47%. Ethereum 18.8. So neither one of them are losing status. We're up $40 billion in market cap, by the way, for the day so far. So in case you were wondering if it's been getting crazy, oh yeah, it's been getting crazy. So yeah. Anyway, so, and by the way, also look at this, 24-hour volume, still only 41.68. 41.68. So that not a whole lot. 41 billion is not huge. And, at some point that's got to be, it's got to be accounted for. There's still a lack of activity. But here's the thing. The news that Bitcoin's over $30,000 is going to be like a beacon of light to a lot of people. Now, the other thing is, if you are an investor and you're looking at an opportunity in a place where you would like to play, going back over here to Bitcoin, I do have these little channels here, right? Well, we're now up above the channel that we were in before, which in all rights, by the way, and goddamn, like this is meant to. be, you can see it right here. Like it was meant to, and remember we had this little spot right here. So that's about the halfway point. We're gonna call that about the heart line, right? So what we want to see now is we're going to want to see another pump just a little bit higher into this 30,000, even for, like I don't think that we're done yet. We're going sideways. We'll see. I mean, we haven't had, even though we did have this wicking right here, which I thought was a symbol for some downside momentum. Nope. It just kept going and going and going, but it's not going to keep going forever, right? We're doing a tour around the world right now. The Asian markets are here. They're picking up steam, or maybe they'll start taking profit, and we'll start seeing that retracement back down along the way. But if we do, then here's what I would say: your number is still going to be 28,600. Maybe you're going to see this move down here to 29.1, and then maybe even 29. But you can almost sense it at this point that the 50-day SMA is heading up here, and this is going to come back down. So we're going to hit 28.6. So to me, 28.6 is a good buy area. So if you're looking to make a play, then I'm going to have a little patience, and I'm going to wait. And then when it hits there, I'm going to go. I'm going to take a shot for one more run up at 30,000. But I do think that we're going to get some retracement coming pretty soon, because it just can't run that hot for that long, right? Every single time we come back here, and anytime we see that kind of a long burn like that, that's we get the consolidate, we got the burn. This happened right over here, right? So we're looking at the same thing that happened right here. Then we had a nice little consolidation. Then we had a shot up to where it wanted to go, and then we had a massive amount of retracement. So if that is the case, then you can bet. And by the way, I do have some data to back up this green area, right? So it's right here. It's all in this little area right here, with the top being right in here. So if this plays out just perfectly, then you can see this big top over here and this big top over here. If this plays out just perfectly, then when we get to the top of this green, it is time to enter a short and create some leverage so that you're not completely stuck, but let it give it some room to pump, and then it should come back down into that 28.6 range at least. Like it shouldn't take too long for it to start to retrace just a little bit, and then we're off to round two, and round two is going to be in this 32, 33 range. Like I think we're, like we're on the way. We've done, we've guys, take a victory lap today, because we have absolutely crushed it, and called it. You know what I mean? A couple days before, when it could have, like this could have been, it could have been anything, right? Like it could have maybe possibly have been way worse. We could have lost the position. It could have, the market could have collapsed. None of that shit happened. Now we're just up here. So let's do this. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to start checking the news, and we're going to see what it all looks like. So let's dig in. First, U.S. presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says Bitcoin is an escape route for when the bubble invariably bursts. So now you've got a big-time supporter of cryptocurrency. Our environmental lawyer and U.S. presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy recently shared his thoughts that Bitcoin presents the public with an escape route for when the bubble invariably bursts, specifically speaking against the recently announced Federal Reserve digital currency. FedNow is almost going to be a dead on arrival. Now, I don't even know how do the banks even embrace FedNow? I mean, as a payment transaction, as a clearinghouse, as a means to conduct a little bit faster business. I mean, maybe the banks don't care, but it would seem very odd for me that the with the opportunity to create a digital currency and monetize that digital currency, which is what they're going to do, that you won't see a JP Morgan JPUSD, BOA USD. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're going to call them, but JPD, JP Morgan Digital, or something like that. They're going to come up with some kind of names for it, but I would just imagine every bank would want to have its own dollar, and that the banks would then agree that each one of their dollars is still going to be the same as everybody else's dollar. So it's a little bit weird that the Fed Now thing is coming out right now, but this replaces, so everybody understands, the Fed Now, we treat it like it's a cancer, but really what it does is it replaces ACH, the automated clearinghouse. And those are archaic and horrible. So it's actually really good that this is happening from a speed standpoint. Of course, here's the issue, right? The issue for most people is that, oh, wow, the federal government is getting into telling us, and listen, this Fed Now payment is a digital dollar, right? Well, if you have a problem with the paper dollar, then you can have a problem with the digital dollar. If you don't have a problem with the paper dollar, then shut the fuck up about the digital dollar, right? Like it's exhausting that everybody has an opinion and nobody seems to like it because they're saying it's government control. Look, if you're sitting down in your libertarian state and you're saying we can't do it because it's tyrannous and it's because it's tyranny and because all these people, they just trying to take our monies and they just trying to take control. You're already using the dollar, dipshit. Quit acting like you're like, come on. It's disingenuous to be complaining about the digital dollar when you're using the US dollar. Shut the fuck up and make some gold. You know what I mean? Like that's your answer right there. Make some gold out of it and stop crying about, I don't like that digital dollar. And then you're pulling out a 20 to pay somebody at the store. Well, you better figure something out, bitch, because you're just being ridiculous, right? And everybody should understand that, by the way, that if you're out here complaining, if you're Ron DeSantis, and by the way, I like Ron DeSantis. I'm not really a fan of all of his politics, but I like the fact that he stands up for his principles, even if I don't like all of his principles. But the thing about Ron DeSantis is he's out here complaining, saying, Fed Now is they're just trying to because they want to have control, right? They already have control. It's called the dollar. And anybody who doesn't see that, anybody who doesn't understand that, what is wrong with you? Like, what's broken in your brain? You know what I mean? Can you not say, like, I know for a lot of people, it's just like, it's just the extra level. It's just the extra. Shut up. It's still a dollar. It doesn't matter whether it's digital or whether it's paper. It's still a dollar. And if we never use it, so what? CEO 100 says, hit the like button for this man. He's always raw with the truth and never steered me wrong. Also, get a membership. Get a membership. That is exactly right. You know what? I'm trying. You know what would be awesome? 1,000 memberships. That's what would be awesome. 1,000 memberships. Universal. You've already missed out. We've already had 30,242 on Binance, 30,141 on Coinbase. On MEXC futures, let's go over here. You can see on the MEXC futures, we've already had 30,104. So we have already had it, my man. $30,000 Bitcoin is here. So, and guys, if any of you know where Selmo Fudd is, grab his ass and drag him out here so he can be like, oh, goddamn, Believes, you were right. Pisses me off. Or something like that. Sativa Cyborg has become a member. Thank you so much. I think we're at about 200 members right now. Would like to get up to 1,000 members. Right. That's what I'm hoping for, guys. So just so everybody understands, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I thank you so much for coming over here and checking it out. Hello from Texas in the house. And that's where, and guys, listen, Texas, I think they fight. They're going to fight the Fed Now payment, right? It's nonsense, right? Even though I support them in the fight, but you should be fighting the dollar too, right? I think we're in that situation where we can't fight the dollar because we're dependent on the dollar. But why? Right? Convert to Bitcoin. There's nothing in the federal government. There's nothing in the Constitution that says that you have to use a US dollar. And it would be worth taking it to the Supreme Court to figure it out. But I would love to see Texas adopt Bitcoin as a currency and then say that this is what we're going to use as our currency, not the FedNow payment system, and this is how we would like to have people settling. Now, the problem with that is that Bitcoin is subject to manipulation. It's still subject to market manipulation. So it would be preferable to have a stable coin of some sort, but that might be a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Like that might just be a bridge just a little bit too far. So we'll see how it plays out, but like that would be just absolutely amazing. And by the way, while we're on amazing things, the shit show that has become some of these cryptos in the last bunch of days, wow, right? Like, wow. And Sativa Cyborg is gifted 5 memberships. Chris White, Sub-Zero, Forsaken One, My Ultra Journey, and Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is now a member of the Bleaves Crypto channel. Somebody screenshot that shit, by the way. Somebody screenshot that. Gary Gensler is now a member of the Bleaves Crypto YouTube channel. And Gary, we appreciate you, man. We don't appreciate you at all. I'm just kidding. So anyway, let's get back to it, though. The next article over here is Bitcoin bull run will continue until 2024, expert predicts. Can Bitcoin break 100,000? Bitcoin has been on a remarkable run during the first quarter of 2023 with a year-to-date increase of 69%, 80% as of today. Bitcoin is trying to break its consolidation level and surpass its near resistance to break the long-awaited 30,000 psychological level. According to a recent analysis by Crypto Quant, the correlation between Bitcoin and the technology-related NASDAQ 100 has weakened, dropping 60% from 75 to the current value of 3. This can now indicate that Bitcoin is becoming increasingly independent of traditional markets, which we've been waiting for, right? And by the way, this box right here, like this box right here is the day we hit this green box, which is coming. I'll give you guys a date on when this green box is coming, but as soon as it is, just go long and shut up. Just go long and shut up and just let the market go. You know what I mean? How far from the halving is it before the market starts to collapse? That'll become our next question. So when was here, as a matter of fact, Bitcoin halving? Dates. So, and when was the last halving? If anybody knows the last halving, go ahead and put it in the chat so that May 11 of 2020. Okay, so that's what we have. May 11 of 2020 was the last halving. All right, so May 11 of 2020, which would mean roughly May 11 of 2024 is the next halving, or somewhere thereabouts, right? So we're going to go look here and we're going to see like how many days did it go from May of 2020, which is going to be so we got right here. So we're going to go May of 2020. You know what? The fuck? We're going to do weekly. Let's do weekly here. So May of 2020 to the top. All right. So now, how long until the top? 553 days. So that's about the time frame. When we get into the halving phase, we're going to have roughly 2 years or thereabouts to capitalize. And then, do we always have these double tops? Well, no, not really. This time we didn't get a double top. The time before we did get a double top. So, I mean, there will be moments when we see a double top pop up here, but we're not, but not exactly all the time. So now the question is just going to be on this run, when do we just exit? Because you know what we're going to do? We're all just going to exit the market, or at least I would think you guys would want to. We're just going to exit the market at that point. And what we're going to do is we're all going to take 100 grand and we're going to leave 100 grand in Bitcoin, and we're going to go long, and we're going to 10 exit, 20 exit, whatever fuck you want to do. Right. But from the top, we're just going to go 100 grand and we're going to long it, and we're going to go big leverage. And then we're just going to ride it all the way down for 500 more days. Right. And how far was it from the top to the bottom? It was 371 days. So we're going to ride that out for about 400 days. So we're going to go long for a year from the top, and then we're just going to see what happens from there. And I mean, if you get wrecked, you get wrecked, right? You're already rich, so who gives a shit, right? But if you do that and it goes down again, like it won't go. By the way, it's going to go down to like 60,000 from where it was before, and it's going to go down, 70%, something like that. So, take 70%, and just consider this. I just want you guys to consider this. If you take $100,000 at the top and we get close to the top, right, and we have a dip of 70%, but let's say we're not getting in the top 5% to begin with. But let's just say we have a dip of 70% and we can get in for 60%, and we take $100,000 and we short that, and it goes down to that 60% with 20x leverage is $1.2 million. Okay. So you can make you can make $1.2 million during the bear market by just doing nothing more than setting yourself a stop loss around 67,000 on the next run. You know what I mean? Like that's it, I mean, and we go back here, like you can look at it over here. Like where is it? Right there. And you took your profit, right? Where is it over here? And you took your profit. You know what I mean? Like all you have to do is just kind of follow the signals. And remember, we're going on this big curve at this point. And then there is, oh shit. Oh, I might have screwed up. No, there we go. There's my curve. All right. So going along this curve, I'm pretty, like I really, I want to say here that, this is, look, guys, this is what we're going to do, right? We're just all going to get rich. How about that? And we won't put too much more into it, but because we got a long time to go before that day happens. So we'll figure that shit out in the long run. So anyway, yeah, we're in the bull run. Oh yeah, by the way, the most explosive move in Bitcoin in years has begun. Here we go. Bitcoin is currently trading at just below 30,000 after spending weeks building up pressure. Bollinger Bands expand after the second tightest ever, right? Second tightest ever. Extended Bitcoin volatility incoming, but in which direction? The last time the Bollinger Bands were this tight, Bitcoin rallied by over 6,000% from the time it made it outside the upper band for the first time. The rally continued until the cycle peak was in. Along the way, there were very few pullbacks, and Bitcoin never closed below the middle BB. The middle line is a 20-period simple moving average, while the upper and lower bands are set at 2 standard deviations of the SMA. When the Bollinger Bands narrows this much, then expand, it's called a squeeze and suggests strong volatility and a possible explosive move. Although the chart is focused on more significant higher time frame, even the tool's creator is talking about the incoming volatility. Not only is there a Bollinger Bands squeeze brewing in Bitcoin in the 2-week frame, another one has happened on the daily chart. Combined, the expected move is going to be especially powerful. As John Bollinger would say, it is time to pay attention. The great and powerful Oz has spoken. Thank you, B Bands, for one of my favorite tools ever. So John Bollinger says the Bitcoin, here it is, BTC USD is in a squeeze, at least as close to one as we are likely to get this cycle. It is the lowest value for bandwidth in 96 bars. I prefer a minimum of 125 periods, but this could be the alert, the savvy trader of a coming change in the volatility regime. So what are they telling you? Shit's about to get sent, son. Economists expect the Fed to reveal another 25 BPS rate hike before pausing for the rest of 2023. And if you go look in, you start checking out the market, they are pricing in a 25% increase for the next rate hike and then nothing else for the rest of the year. Originally, rate cuts are priced in for August of 2023. That may need to be redone because that just doesn't sound viable at this point. Even if we get, for example, there's a couple of estimates right now for where we're going to end up. One of them is 5.5% instead of 6% on the next CPI. One of them is 5.2%. And then several people are saying estimates of lower. Now, you come over here and grab Bitcoin right here. Let's zoom, when in doubt, zoom out, right? So let's get back in here to the hour charts and let's come over here. And you can see right here that the forecast for inflation year over year is 5.2 on a previous of 6, but the core inflation is expected to go up, right? And then this was previously 0.4. It was forecast to be 0.3 earlier today. It's down to 0.2. So they're looking at continuing some downside momentum here. And I've seen some estimates as low as 4.9 right now. Guys, if we get a 4.9, then these markets are going to start to move a little bit more dramatic. Now, here's the thing, by the way, if we get a 5.2 at this point, if we get a 5.2, that's a very bullish number, but it's not going to move the market like it would have a few months ago. So if we get one of these crazy, like for example, let's say if we get a 4.9, right? If we get a 4.9, we would expect the market to just get absolutely sent. But at this point, I don't think that it's going to work that way because the markets are starting to decouple and Bitcoin is marching to its own drum. So I don't think that the move that we're expecting to get or that we're looking to get, I don't think that we're going to see that move the same way that we would think. I'll tell you what would be interesting, though. What would be interesting is if we can get a nice rally with Bitcoin and we can get Bitcoin up into that 32 range and get it up into this kind of stratosphere up here. If we can get up into this area and then we get the announcement over the next couple of days, if we can just continue the CPI moving in this direction, if we can get into this sort of, let's do it right here, range here, and we can get up, oh shit, messed that up. If we can get up into this, wow, I really screwed that up, up into this area around 32,000, just absolutely barreling its way up here into this, then, we're just going to go sideways again. We're just going to end up going sideways again. So, and by the way, just when you start looking at this stuff and you start to zoom out and you start to look at the 4 hours, what I was looking for out of the 4 hours, and we're about to close, by the way, this is the 1900 candle. So we've got 3 hours to go. This did not mint over it. This minted over it. This minted over it. And guys, what I was looking for, by the way, was for this to happen and then this to happen and then this to happen. And then we'd be able to say, hey, we're in the next segment and then run along to the top, right? To 31,000 or 30,001. But this market is just pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. However, I think since we've already stretched out, I think now that I'm thinking about it, what I believe we should probably kind of look at here and do is let's take this and let's go ahead and move it down just a little bit to be more in line with where it's settled, right? Oops, back over here. Yeah, that probably looks a little bit better. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of we'll call that the top right now because I don't really have any inkling that it's going to go up further for sure because it did hit 30,000 for right now. So and I do think that 28.6 is going to be the next move. Like I now that we're at 30,000, we could continue, but I think a correction is necessary for us to hit that next move, right? The last time we did this kind of run right here, where did we retrace? So we take a fib and say that we started right about here, and then we ran up to here, and the fib retracement is 0.618, right? So if we did the same thing and we applied the same principle here from here to the top, the 0.618 number is 28,660. So it stands to reason that there is a bounce coming, and that bounce coming just happens to be right where that retracement is, 28,600. In fact, when we get done with this, we're shorting it. We'll see what happens, but we're gonna short that thing. So anyway, that's what the rate hikes are looking like. Bitcoin tops Donald Trump And guns in America on a day where my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky had 2 shooting incidents. And the first shooting incident was a mass casualty in Old National Bank. 4 people were killed, 9 people were injured by a shooter who happened to work there or had previously worked there. And basically, hostile employee, ex-employee coming in and shooting up a place, which you never want to see something like that. But it got a little bit weird because Republicans were itching to prove that the guy was transgender or something like that, and he wasn't, but he did identify as him on LinkedIn, which they tried to use to say that maybe he's deranged and shouldn't have a gun. We're fishing. We're really fishing for weird stuff right now. So, it's look, gun control is not. I mean, maybe the answer is education for sure. But you can't limit people's guns. It's the Constitution. You can't limit people's access to firearms. It is the Constitution. I mean, maybe a rocket launcher or something like that. But I mean, otherwise, it's just it's just not feasible. It's not doable. And all you're going to do is make sure that criminals have guns, and the people who need to defend themselves from criminals that have guns are not going to have guns. That's nonsense. And it's not the answer. The answer is education. The answer is red flag laws. I'll buy that. But and then a couple hours later, there was a second shooting. Then it was 1 fatality and 2 more injured. Blocks away, right? Just blocks away from that place. There was another one, but this one seemed more quote unquote gang related because it looked like some unhappy. It looked like an argument between a couple of people got out of hand. Somebody pulled a gun. So, but it was another mass shooting in the same place on the same day. So weird times. So, but none of that's going to stop Bitcoin from running. None of that's going to stop all of this shit from happening. So, guns in America, Donald Trump, nah, it's all about Bitcoin, baby. Next up, volatility incoming, the 5 major things to watch. CPI data is on the horizon. This is Wednesday. The Ethereum Shanghai update, also Wednesday. And there's going to be a couple things going on there. Next, Larry Leopard, fund manager, says he sees a 10 million Bitcoin price coming amid US dollar collapse. And are you shitting me? Like, I get the feeling now that it's just a bet with Bollinger, that everybody's trying to hedge because these guys are betting Bollinger that Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million or not going to go to $1 million. So it's yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So this guy now says he thinks it's going to be 10 million. I think the intelligent people in the world, and ultimately most people, get the joke and realize that fiat currency is losing value consistently. True. And as that trend grows, people will go to Bitcoin. Also true. They'll go to Bitcoin. They'll go to gold. They'll go to property. Nothing's going to be stupid enough to buy bonds from a set of governments that haven't proven they can manage the currency correctly. Also true. We're starting to see this move, right? And that's why, but by the way, that's why the United States government is working so hard to try to FUD Bitcoin and try to FUD cryptocurrency. And by the way, when I say that, I do, we should be very clear about this. Bitcoin, as it is right now, that is the value. That's the store of this future of cryptocurrency. Now, there are plenty other things right now, Ethereum, and a bunch of other ones, but there's a lot of them that don't do anything. So, a lot of the things that we've done in cryptocurrency has just reinforced the need for the regulation that's coming. That it's going to reinforce the opinion of people that say, yeah, well, you're not going to make any this is a scam, right? Terraport that happened today, a perfect example. And if you don't know what Terraport is, stay with me because we're going to be covering that one too. But there's too many scams. There's too many people getting ripped off. There's too many people, with shit happening to them. Vibe. For those of you that don't know, by the way, I did a Vibe AMA on Saturday. So if you want to know what I think of Vibe, you can go check that out on Saturday. It's a staking protocol for right now. They've got some, they've got plans for the future, which we won't get into. But as of right now, it's just kind of a staking protocol. So staking protocols in a bear market coming into the bull market, I don't know that it's got, it's going to be, can you get a nice little run going? And I think they had an okay run going, but can it sustain itself? And that becomes the question. And, I'm not sure yet that it's going to sustain itself. I just got some more information from them. That, by the way, they sent me some messages about some stuff. They are integrating VoltaChange. So we're going to see VoltaChange on their website this week. And that's not a use case for them, of course, but it is integrating into a group of 60,000 holders. So it's not a bad thing to see happen. So, it's a step. It's a step into integrating into a bigger base of people to burn some of their tokens and to, of course, help burn some of the Volt tokens along the way. So we'll see is going to be my official answer for right now. I certainly like the guys, and I certainly like, I like the fact that, first of all, I should preface this and say they're funded, and that's the important part. And if you don't know, Vibe token was founded by the guy who bought the pizza for like 10,000 Bitcoin from the pizza guy back in, I want to say 2013. That was the guy. So he is the developer, or at least that's what he says he is. He says that he's the developer of that, and he's from Denmark, Netherlands, something like that. Had an accent, had a I'm going to say Northeastern European accent. So I would think so. I would think it's got an opportunity. If this guy's got some, if they have the capital to create use cases and to create reasons, then they're going to be just fine. It's just surviving right now. And by the way, for everybody listening, it takes a little bit to survive right now. It really does, because this market is all about Bitcoin. It's all about Ethereum right now. And you're going to see some pumps from everybody else, but there's nobody else that matters. This is what matters at this point. So let's put a pin in all that shit. Move over here to Hex. Hex is up 10% on the day. Again, Decanect 6.5% to 4184. Cato 1411. Cato content coming out. It's going to launch in the morning if you guys want to check it out. I started playing DOE Rangers, the Dogs of Elon Rangers, and god damn it, I am not good at it, but I tried. Saitama 1726, Wiz 2349, 3159 for Terrarium. Terrarium will be having an AMA on my channel April 21 at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. NGN 4826. SHIB 1107, Volt 1417, Bone $1.08, BRL 73 cents, Floki 34, Wagme 6020, Lillian 4857, MMAI 3388. MMAI really struggling right now. Looks like quite a bit of sell-off happening over here. Not sure what is going on with them, but quite the paper-handed group of what do we call those guys? Hoes. Quite a group of paper-handed hoes, it appears, right now. But you know what? Time, it's just the nature of it. People, they have an internal clock, and they want to see something pump, and when it doesn't pump, it's they move on. So there we are. All right, now, so let's do a couple of things here. I was contacted for, let's do Milton. So for those of you that didn't see it today, we got, let's have an AMA, Bleaves and Dean. So Dean is going to come on my channel, and we're going to have an AMA, and we're going to be talking about Terrarium. And by this point, the Android is going to launch. Still a lot of people fudding because this happened today, which probably wasn't for the best But I and I did ask some questions, so, and I do have some answers, but I can't talk about it. Today I was in the police station for 4 hours after Ramana filed a false lawsuit case against me in India for burning the dev tokens. He stated in the case that I cheated him for $3.5 million of his dev tokens, which he wanted to cash out from our wallets, not on my watch. I will go fight anywhere to do right for my holders and Terrarium. As a CEO, I will manage and overcome these obstacles. The entire team is dedicated working on the Android launch. So to kind of break through some of the static here, Dr. Ramana filed a lawsuit and wanted $3.5 million. And Milton said, you're absolutely not cashing out on the community, pointing out, in fact, that apparently he had cashed out already, and that had a nice run where he had cashed out like $3 million already. So here we go. He took over $3 million profit in the beginning while the rest of us held the floor. And the two-faced person shared internal emails with fudders. So, some guys are on the team, some guys are not on the team. And I don't know. I wish Ramana nothing but the best. But I don't think that what he was doing is probably for the best for the community. And I think that we're witnessing Milton doing his best to try to protect the community, to prevent them from going through any other FUD or problems, etc. And they're trying to focus on getting this launch out. I did speak to them today when we set this up. I'm looking to get, what I really want to do is I want to be the first person to do futures trading on their platform. I want to be the one, here, this is how you do it. I want to go through the tutorial and stuff like that, put it on my site. And, a lot of people, especially people who are looking for a reason to FUD every project, or looking for a reason to not like, Milton, because he doesn't take shit from people. The people who vote for the guy who they don't want to take shit from anybody, want Milton to take all the shit for everybody. So it's very weird that, this is the case. And you can like or not like the project yourself. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't change my investment at all. I believe that these guys are going to have a centralized exchange that, as long as they can maintain and as long as they can fund it until profitability, then they're going to end up having a very nice financial windfall. And I could take 10 or 15 or 20x off of my investment, and I'll be certainly happy with it. I don't even need it to hit $1 billion market cap. I don't think, I do think long term that it has an opportunity still, because the people that are complaining about it on the people that are complaining about it on Twitter are just people that are like, please die because I don't like you. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, because those people are not the investors that are going to be there at the end anyway. They're the people who are just going to be like, oh man, I could have had it, and I could have made, because I sold my bag because I didn't like whatever, and because it was down 80%, or I don't even know if it's probably 90%. It's down 90%. So I sold my bag and I took the loss, and now it's pumping, and it will pump. I mean, everything is going to pump in this next market. And I don't think that a couple of millionaires that have the funds to create something, I don't think they're just going to walk away from it. They're going to make it happen at some point. They're going to put all of the advertising. They're going to do everything they can to make this thing pump. And I'm going to be there for it. So I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyway, so now it looks like Bitcoin is going back to 30,000 one more time. So it just hit in 29,932. It's at 29,916 right now, and continuing to grow. Ethereum is not holding up very well. Now the futures over here, you can see right here down at the bottom. There's two on the right hand side over here. At 1915 and 1915 right here. They're kind of tied up together, so to speak. But they were not together before. And the Bitcoin futures over here, 29,980, just hit 30. Here we go, 30,000. We are at 30,000 on Bitcoin. And are we going to grow? Nope. It is coming back down right after that. So the futures got up to 30,000 yet again. but ETH is still not pumping. ETH is still not getting up to that 1940 level that it was at before. So SHIB still down on the day. So yeah, but anyway, so Terrarium it'll have its moment, and people won't like it because Saitama's going to have a moment, and people aren't going to like it because there's so many people who are just fucking haters that just praying beyond all get out that these things fail. And you know, if you don't like it, it's okay. Not every investment is yours. Just because you're a Crow holder doesn't mean that you have to be an MX holder. Just because you like Luna Classic doesn't mean that you have to like SHIB. Just because you like SHIB doesn't mean you have to like Doge. I mean, not every investment is for everybody. And if you're sitting on the sidelines and Terrarium has a big ass run because they can throw a ton of money at it in order to not pump the chart, but to create, you know, I mean, at one point they were going to rent out the Burj Khalifa to do advertisements and stuff like that. Not the market for it, but when you start to see retail really come back into crypto, and you start to see all that happen, and then you see Terrarium on the Burj Khalifa, you're going to be like, God damn it! I thought that they weren't going to be able to do it because some guy on Twitter one time said bad things. That's fucking stupid. But that's you. That's not me. So, yeah. And again, you know, Saitama's going to do the same thing. A lot of them are going to do the same thing. And by the way, XRP should be going on a run pretty soon. RLC, we're getting closer and closer right now for RLC. I'm kind of looking at RLC wanting to make a move on it, but I'm going to wait until I see like a flip over here. These bands, if I see it start to expand a little bit, like I may go long on it just to see it run. And same thing with Zaliqua, because both of them have big updates coming out this month. So the Zaliqua, I'm not really as. This one up to 3.6 cents from 2.8. So if you consider where it is right now versus where it would be up here, that's a 24% increase. I'll take 24% on a big bag any day, you know. But anyway, so that's the case. And then the final thing is, are we vaulted? By the way, don't forget, Bit4X is in 4 days for NGN. And John Cena, we can't see him, but John Cena is following NGN now. I don't know why. I assume it's because he watches me and, you know, thinks, oh, it's going to be awesome. This one says, CG show here. This is from Volt, by the way. It says CG shows there are 6 left to Volt. CMC shows there are 9 left to Volt. What's the next one? One more coming this month. I don't know what one more means because I don't know how many are coming this month. But it says one more at least coming this month. Now, if you go back a month ago, there was conversations that Volt was having saying that the 2 of these guys wanted to be whitelisted, which would mean that they would be coming online, I would think. And we haven't heard anything since then. So, you know, I'm interested to see how this plays out. But April 17 is going to be a big day for Volt. I really would like to see, by the way, not to get too far into the weeds about the whole thing, but I mean, you know, let's go look at Volt. They've been working on an all-time high. They've been working on an all-time high for a while now, and you know, I think it's really time for. I think it's time to at least dunk on that. 3647, 3657. That's the number up here. So I think it's time for that to come down, which is about what is it, 3x from here. So a 3x from here would be a nice run for Volt to get it started. 88 million market cap. I think that a 500 million market cap is really about where like I would really like to see a 500 million market cap, because that would be about a 6x from where we are right now. And that feels like a good number to me. I would think that puts it in the top 100 for at least, if not for the whole thing, at least for a spell. And having that top 100 rank, I think, would become very, very important in the long term. So I'm looking for that to happen. If not April 17, then May 7, because I'm looking through all of it for the end game, and April 17, that's the date when the big stuff happens, right? That's the date when SHIB got on the first part of its run. May 7, however, is when it got really crazy. So I think there's two things coming, one after the other, or a couple of big catalysts all coming one after the other. So, we'll see what happens. And I also expect, by the way, I know some of you are turned off by the 13% buy and sell tax, but I do think that the 13% tax is going to be waived at some point in the next couple of days before we get to whatever it is that's about to happen. So this could very well be, one of those moments where we really, really, really start to see Volt just blow absolutely up. So I think that we made it. We got to the end. So guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is not financial advice. My name's Bleeves. I am always right. We did 30,000 again. Guys, be very careful overnight, or just fucking hodl. Just fucking hodl for right now. And remember that we're getting to a point right now. Just remember for just a little bit longer, right? All you gotta do is hold on, because we're going to get to altcoin season. And if you have meme coins, if you have altcoins, we're getting there. We're going to hit an altcoin season before you know it. And, it's Bitcoin blow off. Look, it's here right now, right? We're having a big run. We're having a big moment. And any moment now, this thing is going to get absolutely out of control. And who knows how high it's going to get. In fact, we're now over 30,000 and still pumping. So, guys, everything you've been waiting for to happen just happened. Most probably because everybody knows I was calling it early. I assume that that's what it is. So, you guys have a good night. I'm going to take a victory lap, and we will see you guys in the morning for breakfast.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, in the proofs and the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was drunk? I ain't mean to call you that. I'm ice cold.